N.Flying. Sorry, and are you here, our resident N.Fia master? We do have another band. Flower Fantasy. All right, here we go.
흩날려라 꽃잎들아 널 떠올리지 못하게 절벽 끝까지 피어라 날 위한 춤을 춰주어서 그대와 마주할 때면 계절이 돌아오죠 마냥 따뜻하지는 않네요 후회도 미련도 전혀 알 수 없게 아름답게 꾸미는 중이죠 흩날려라 꽃잎들아 널 떠올리지 못하게 절벽 끝까지 피어라 날 위한
This feels completely different than the other videos that I've seen from N.Flying. Completely different.
춤을 춰주어서 그대와 마주할 때면 잎이 마구 떨어지던 풍경 속 난생 처음 보았던 아름답던 호기심 가득한 네 모습이 보여 그대도 지금 울고 있나요 그대도 떠나려는군요 이유 없이 잡진 않을게요 거짓된 믿음도 눈치챌 수 없게 아름답게 속이는 중이죠 흩날려라 꽃잎들아 널 떠올리지 못하게 절벽 끝까지 피어라 누군가의 위로가 되어 다시금 꿈꿀 수 있게 잎이 마구 떨어지며 그때와 다시금 추웠던 얼어붙은 마음을 녹여 웃을 수 있을까요 그대여 지금 듣고 있나요 환하게 번지는 미소로 흩날려라 꽃잎들아 널 떠올리지 못하게 절벽 끝까지 피어라 날 위한 춤을 춰주어서 그대와 마주할 때면 잎이 마구 떨어지던 풍경 속 난생 처음 보았던 아름답던 호기심 가득한 네 모습이 보여 그대도 지금 울고 있나요
Interesting. Huh. Okay. Let's discuss this a little bit. Let's see. This song was a response to Youth Suicide Prevent campaign. Flower Fantasies are applied to all received messages after with other song. It's fine. So part of a campaign. Huh. Interesting. So first things first. I want you to take me seriously. First things first, I want to acknowledge the fact that this sound in this video feels completely different than other N.Flying videos that I've seen in the past, in a good way, because this is much less like poppy and happy and kind of go lucky than the other stuff I've seen. Now, Asarian, you say it's a B-side, but I don't really know what that means. Like, I know what a B-side is, but does that mean that most of the videos that they launch are only for the B-sides or where the treasures are? Okay. It's not a main track. Right. Well, see, then in that regard, that hurts a potential fan like me because their title tracks don't resonate with me. Now, all that to say, if I'm not the target demographic of their music, they don't need to try to get outliers like me on the outside. They got to go for their target demographic. It makes sense. Yeah, they choose their title tracks for the demographics that they're shooting for. So anyway, this is a really good one. The one thing that I have said with N.Flying has been, when I hear some of the solo stuff, what's his name? Hongi? Is that right? Hongi? I'm blown away. I'm blown away by some of the vocals. But then most of the title tracks that I've heard, Wesong. Yeah, something we watched recently. Hongi is FT Island. Got it. Okay. Yeah, we watched something recently, and the vocals really got me. And I was thinking, like, I want to hear these vocals. I want to hear more of this sound in their music, because to me, the title tracks and the way that these guys have been pitched, which again is for an audience different than me, right? It doesn't really matter what I think if I'm not the target demographic. I can just give you my opinion, and that's pretty much it. But the reason I've always like been not drawn to these guys is because most of the songs I've heard have been very like poppy and kind of full housey and colorful, and for a younger audience than myself, it doesn't resonate with me. This is a lot better. Now, this sound is a lot better, and I like the fact that I can hear the band and I can hear the vocals. And I was going to say quite a bit more regarding this storyline that was playing out until Asarian said what she said about the campaign that this is involved in. So I like the fact that they did this in a very tasteful way. The fact that it was part of the campaign for that reason makes sense to me, that they did it the way they did it. If that had not been the case, and this would have been this song with this very quiet storyline playing out, I would have said a lot more things. Okay? What I was going to say was, if you're going to put a story like this in a video and hint towards these types of things, you have got to do this right. It's very subtle, but you have to do it right. You have to pay homage in a way to this story. If you're gonna put this in our brain, it has to have the resolution of what it deserves, of the kind of care and attention and love that you are presenting around this message, rather than just put it out there and then that's it, right? You have to acknowledge the resolution, which they do, but to me, it's only powerful enough knowing that it's part of a campaign, part of a greater picture. This, in and of itself, I would have felt like it needs more. Because the story, the video as a standalone, it doesn't resolve heavy enough for me to get away from what I thought was going to happen. Okay? And this is where resolution can be really tricky. I realize how stupid I look and sound right now because I'm trying to be serious and I look like this. Now, last we knew, she was up there walking towards the edge. And then we have this. Now, we have the flowers flying around her, but she still has a very pained expression, and she's crying. And then that piano sound... I would have done that very differently. Because to me, the resolution isn't clear enough. Again, I say I think they're fine because it was part of a campaign. I think everybody kind of understood what it was about. But for somebody not watching, it's a little different. Even this last shot. The last shot is quiet, and it's just them in the shot. It just feels very different. But I will say, though, this is one of the front runners for me for this group of all the songs I've seen. This is probably my favorite one so far. It's simple. It's easy. I get to hear the vocals. I get to hear the group. And it's definitely more on a vibe that resonates with me versus probably the standard younger audience.